Then how do you explain Mila Kunis doing it as well?
I think Mila Kunis is someone who herself was abused from a young age. She was 14 years old when she started acting on that show. Danny was 22 or 23. Ashton Kutcher was 19. Some of the things that have come out on social media in the last couple of days is some extremely inappropriate sexual behavior between the group, mostly involving Mila. So it's hard for me to condemn or blame Mila too much, honestly, but it's very easy to blame Ashton.
No, I understand this, where your opinion is coming from. Obviously, Mila Kunis married Ashton Kutcher, so, obviously she saw that as a positive relationship in her life. Well, the next chapter of this is going to be how the church gets implicated, and do you think that could have some role with Kutcher and Kunis? Their names have been mentioned in connection to the church as well, Joe.
Well, I think, if you're going back to Aaron's point about the letters, I think why the letters blew up in everyone's face was that the fact that no one was going to read them. Well, that was not true because it's a legal document. And in the case of my children, to tell the judge that I walked out on the family and I was this sort of, abandoned type father was a bit of an insult and quite frankly, shocking to me. So I just have to stand up for my right. And so now what's happened now is you've got a perjury situation occurring. I'm sure that the judge would be not too happy realizing, oh my God, I've got two of the brothers and sisters of the accused that's been convicted telling me a story that's not really true. Just tell the truth. No one cares about the BS. Just tell the truth the way it is and not lie about it. And now that you've introduced lies or cover-ups, that's just unacceptable, Chris. Period, especially with a parent. Yeah. If I thought I was a bad person, fine, but I'm not. We move on. Yeah.
I understand your point. Aaron, last question to you. You believe this isn't over where the church is involved because there is legal process, you believe, involving allegations against the church and its role here and maybe elsewhere. How so?
That's right. Well, two things I'd like to say to wrap this up. One of the things that's been thoroughly documented in this case is that as a Scientologist, drugging and violently raping other members is not enough to get you expelled. But telling the authorities that you were raped by a Scientologist is enough to get you expelled. There's currently 5 ongoing legal actions against Scientology, and I think the result in this case could potentially affect 2 of them. There is a grand jury investigation underway into obstruction of justice on behalf of Scientology and David Miscavige in the Danny Masterson affair. I don't know much. After all, I grew up in a cult, but I do think that this guilty verdict could potentially give more weight to that investigation into obstruction of justice. The Jane Does also have a lawsuit against David Miscavige, Scientology, and Danny Masterson for the nonstop stalking, harassment, and intimidation they've been subjected to since coming forward. Again, I could be wrong on this because I'm not a lawyer. I just feel that the guilty verdict tends to give more weight to their claims of harassment and gives that lawsuit a better chance of success. There's 3 other legal actions. There's a child labor trafficking case against David Miscavige and Scientology in Australia. There's a child sex trafficking lawsuit against Scientology and David Miscavige in Los Angeles. And of course, there's Leah Remini's lawsuit against Scientology and David Miscavige for the nonstop stalking, harassment.
I'm trying to get Leah Remini. I know that she's been very active in defense of herself and what she wants to be understood about the church, her and her sister. And when she wants the platform, she'll have it. Aaron, I appreciate it. Aaron Smith-Levin, thank you very much. Joe Reish, the story continues, and we will stay on it. Thank you both very much, gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Thank you very much.
All right. Be well. Appreciate you doing this.